Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. That often runs you into a penalty.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Throwing is Rodgers. They've got his man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 36 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
As I watch that play unfold, stereotypes were being broken left and right. As a corner, you're often back there guarding against the pass. But how about that diagnosis and read and getting into the backfield and making a nice play and a tackle?
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Emerson Griffin in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 23. Not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Steps away to his left. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And it's 3rd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined. But sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, breathing down your neck, You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one good for 33 and a first. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs. It gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
They run again on first down. Cook. And not much running room. Down to the 32. A gain of 3, second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Here we go, Art.
Second down, Cousins. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Well, this crowd does not like that call.
Understandable reaction from them. That's their team that the penalty is going against. But you and I both know they're going to take care of the quarterback.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's first and goal. Cook following the penalty. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so, and one of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you could darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
He's going to get it running right, and he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal. Cousins to throw it. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak. Got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for
Pat's
jumping.
Checking in.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Everson Griffin in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Now it's Rodgers. And Graham's got it over the middle. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. To throw on third down, Rodgers. And that is incomplete. It was Andrew Sendejo from his strong safety spot able to make the play.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. And now out comes Minnesota. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Cousins now on 2nd down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Now, that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it in.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Hey, check 26. Yeah, Liz.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He got 29 yards that time. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a first down carry by Jones. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Oski.
Let's go, come on.
Everyone's got 4 down. Mike 54.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They'll pitch it out to Jones. And now running right through it. And he's got it across the midfield stripe.
Then new
And
plays.
into Viking territory.
Rodgers ain't know what to
Tackle
do.
made by Eric Kendricks.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw it.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Anderson Dejo. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
They start the drive with Cook. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now a play fake here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They pitch it out to Cook. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. That one good for 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
It's Cousins on the sneak. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. First down. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. They'll try to throw now. Cousins looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Blake Martinez.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Rodgers eluding the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Throwing now is Rodgers. Lets this one rip toward Graham. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks. And while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
Oh, wide open, complete, and all the way down to the 35. A big play there just before halftime, 45 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go.
To throw, Cousins. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Cousins on 1st down. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
All right, now here we go.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing is Cousins. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. And Bullock will put this one through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So they get the 3, increase their lead to close out the half.
Excellent way to end the drive, going to the locker room with a little bit of extra momentum after adding 3 to their total.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you down to Orlando where John quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys.
Look at the big man rumble. The 40. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A huge play there. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph. 46 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 2nd down, Cook. Even with the good move he showed, he'll be brought down short of the 15. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. Here's Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And he will have the 1st down before he's tackled at the 12. The Vikings 1st down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Handoff comes to Cook. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Vikings on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And that makes our score 17-0. clock out now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
It's Xavier Rhodes there in on the stop.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now Rodgers running the option right. And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. And that play there, boy, almost looked like it was a video game and he didn't know what the pitch button was. Not very well executed.
Yeah, and if you don't know what it is, you better figure it out fast. I suggest knowing it before you actually run that play.
Rodgers now on third down. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And now out comes Minnesota. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. To throw is Cousins. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
A second down throw for Cousins. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. The Vikings on third down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. This is 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. That's caught by Treadwell. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Cousins able to connect with Treadwell for a Minnesota first. Cousins now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Kenny Clark. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, that allows your blitzers to get there.
Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Give him 30 yards there.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety, so you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there, and he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Cousins. Forced out to his left. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been outstanding. 7 first downs and 8 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Now Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This one taken from the 7th. For the score, and the Packers get a score closer. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with, and they say challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Crosby with the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Packer pressure, and down he goes.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Cousins. Flushed out right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And this is going to be Packer football. Oh, and now he bowls him over.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Zoom. 3 19 to 9. check 26.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. He'll get this one to the Golden Domer, St. Brown. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A gain of 6 there on first. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Now Rodgers. Incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now 1st and goal.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
Hey, check 26.
Now Rodgers. Touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers have cut it back within a score. Crosby connects on the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a 1-score, 6-point game. This will be taken in at the 1. Gets past 1 man. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. 1-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
And he'll be brought down here at the 28. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They're going to run this with a tight end. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Fielded at the 20. 12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Zoom, zoom.
Rodgers to throw on second down. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. It was Andrew Sendejo from his strong safety spot able to make the play. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Flush to his right. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. Now Rodgers, got to have this one. And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. A big pickup of 12 yards on fourth down to keep this drive from stalling.
Every play is supposed to get a player's best effort. But on fourth down, that really increases the stakes, doesn't it? What about that catch?
Heck of an effort, picking up the first.
And now that team has to be motivated going forward. They just saw a great effort there. They want to make sure it pays off.
Let's go, hey, let's go, come on. Hey. Four down. Uncle, over here. Jump out.
Back to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Graham. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Rodgers now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Jump out.
He's back to throw. Caught on the right side by Adams. Stopped short of the 25. The nice move couldn't ultimately free him. A gain of 6 there on first.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Hey, check 26.
He'll look to throw. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And out of bounds right around the 20. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
And they try to sweep to Jones. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They come up on a 1st and goal and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and the PAT for the lead. They'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. This is caught. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It's a loss of 2. Now 3rd down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Back to throw. That's caught at the 3. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling in the final minute. And the Packers are an extra point away from taking the lead. A very important extra point there, up and good. And that is going to put them on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. They only need a field goal. Obviously the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you get a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he powers his way up past the 30. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
At this stage, you've got to hustle. Got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Now, they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This is 3rd and 4. Cousins. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain.
Let's go, come on.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you watch high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles, and really the difference, obviously, was that fourth quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with believing that you can make that comeback. Because we've been in games before. We've done games where you just look at one team and realize they have no chance of making it back. Not in the one we just saw here. They did it, and they did it well.
So for Green Bay, the win gets them a step closer to 500 at 5-6. And they'll have another home date next week as the Kansas City Chiefs come to town. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Seattle Seahawks. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Go! Okay, you got it. Look. Go! Go! Look at you go!